Geo Media, aka the new owners of Gizmodo, formerly known as Gawker, just laid off 15 members of its video staff. Video staff? Geo Media just laid off members of its video team, according to an internal memo reviewed by Business Insider. Multiple sources said 15 staffers were let go. We're going to talk about why. Geo editorial director Jim Rich said in an email to staff that the decision came after 2 months of conversations with editorial heads and extensive examining of audience numbers in video content. Now, by audience numbers, we're talking about some of these channels, which, by the way, have massive production values, big corporate backing, a lot of bloat to pay for. They were not even pulling 3 digits sometimes when it comes to number of viewers. That's how bad they were doing. Business Insider confirmed the layoffs with Geo Media. Jim Rich, the company's editorial director, told the staff in an internal memo that it would reduce the number of people working for Lily Nguyen, Geo's head of video. Rich said in the email memo reviewed by Business Insider that the decision came after 2 months of conversations and other editorial heads and extensive examining of audience numbers. Yeah, we already read this in the summaries, but just to make sure people remember. What we have here is a company that was 100% reliant on investors and venture capitalists, and these investors are willing to actually fund and subsidize companies at a loss under the assumption that eventually they're going to be profitable and the investors are going to get that money back. But then the beer virus hit and these investors suddenly don't have like millions and billions of dollars of spare money laying around. So they pulled out of all of their investments that are losing them fucking money. So now we're going to see, or we have already been seeing, and we will continue to see all of these dying legacy media outlets go through this, because over the past couple of years, they've been completely turning on their actual audience, on their readers, so they could get more drama clicks and they could get more ad revenue. They can make themselves look more appealing to their investors. Yeah, even if it's all negative attention, all the advertisers see, all the investors see is, ooh, we had millions of clicks this month. We're doing great. And they were able to manipulate the investors and the advertisers. But now that both of them have pulled out, investors and the advertisers are gone, the only ones left that these guys can turn to now to support themselves is their readers, is their former customers. And guess what? These are the people they've been telling to go fuck themselves for years. So they're not going to be getting any damn help. This is why I'm sure to actually treat my customers right. I want them to come back. Rich did not reveal the official number of people laid off in the memo, but multiple sources familiar with the matter said 15 have been laid off so far. That's important. So far. I am sorry for the pain this will cause those on your teams, Rich said in the email. My hope is that this will allow us to improve our other areas of need and in the end make our site stronger. I will work with Jim Spanfeller and Tom Callahan to figure out how to best reallocate the resources being moved from the video team. Now this, he's being very diplomatic about it, but the fact remains that these video teams were a drain on his company. They were not getting any views. They were not getting any positive attention. The only time they got attention was when people were laughing at how high quality their production values are compared to how many views they get. Because these boomer-ass ancient corporations, they don't understand how video content works. They don't understand YouTube. You have to actually be entertaining, and when it comes to certain topics, you also have to be genuine. So let's look at Kotaku, for example. Let's think about Kotaku. Their focus is supposed to be video games, yet everyone working at that website seems to have a vehement hatred towards video games and gamers. And they can't interact with us via video format because we'll be able to see very clearly how fake they are. We already know they're fake, but we'll be able to see a lot better how fake they are when it's in video form. And potential new viewers can see how fake they are, especially when on the same platform, you got actually entertaining people that love the hobby and the community. Oh, and that was a Chris person here. Sounds like I got laid off. RIP. How long do you think it will be until they lose their blue check marks? Yeah, so once you get a blue check mark, do you get to keep it? Because I know these game journalists, they get. I've seen people with like barely over 1,000 followers on Twitter with blue check marks because they work for one of these legacy dying fake news outlets. And that's enough to get a blue check mark on Twitter. Meanwhile, if you're some YouTuber with like fucking millions of subs, you have to fight for a blue check mark. Just ask Mundane Matt, himself, the Boulder, the Quarry King himself, how difficult it is to get a blue check mark on Twitter if you don't work for one of these legacy media outlets. Because I don't know if he's still complaining about that, but like years ago, he could not stop complaining about not having a blue check mark. Geo Media provided the following statement to Business Insider. In our efforts to strengthen editorial teams at Geo Media, we completed a thorough evaluation of our traffic and sites and found we were just throwing money away on our video division because these guys have no fucking clue what they're doing. In doing so, we're making the unfortunate but necessary decision to change our current process of video production. Well, are you going to hire people who are actually fans of the hobby they're making videos on? Yeah, no one wants to watch a video about someone who fucking hates something talk about how shit it is. At least not if the target audience is people who love that thing. It's too little too late, though, because everyone's going to individual content creators right now as opposed to these big corporate ones. And this is not going to change anytime soon. Although YouTube is trying its hardest to force that change, though. You guys notice that? You guys notice that YouTube has been pretty damn hardcore about shilling the legacy media and trying to help them out, even when they go in and they make their own shit. Like fucking Brie Larson. Nobody gives a fuck about Brie Larson. But when she made her YouTube channel, YouTube themselves were shilling it and putting it on trending. Hey, look, Brie Larson's here on YouTube. Everyone check her out. And nobody cared. Nobody went to check her out. And while they're doing that, they're also actively throttling people like me. Yeah, we're being fucking hidden. We're being throttled. So YouTube is doing they're doing their best to try to fuck us up in favor of their corporate overlords. And maybe one of these days they'll succeed, but right now we're still doing fine. We are still doing okay. While an important part of the business, some resources currently dedicated to video would be better used across other areas of the company, including editorial, and are being reallocated accordingly. You think? When you employ teams of people and have a studio and high production values, and you get the same level of views on your channel that I do, if not way less, yeah, you're just wasting money. As we evaluate the future of our video production structure, some of our video staff will be effective today. It is always difficult to make these decisions, and we thank the affected employees for their time with us and wish them only the best. Yeah, go be a hateful little bigot somewhere else. That's what they really said. On Friday last month, Geo Media fired Imani Bashir, the sole black writer for its Lifehacker website. Why is that important? Should he have been unfireable no matter how bad he is or how bad he fucked up because he was the only black guy? How awkward would it be if to fire your last black employee, you had to actually go out of your way to hire another black employee just so you can fire your current one? Man, that would, after a few times, the current black employee will eventually catch on when they see a new black employee in the office. Oh, shit. I guess I'm out. Business Insider also reported in July how Geo Media had disproportionately enforced violations of the new company dress code against Victor Jeffries II, a longtime queer worker of color who was fired on New Year's Eve. Okay. Disproportionately enforced violations of a new company dress code. I would love to see it, because I bet the new company dress code was something like wear a fucking suit and tie, fucking business That's the dress code business. And this guy probably showed up dressed like a drag queen and was wondering why he got fired for it. That would be my guess. So this is what's going on with the dying legacy media. They're starting to realize that they can't compete. These guys, by the way, they've seen that the numbers on YouTube have been going up, and that's where everyone's going. And they've seen their own numbers dropping. So they were like, oh, we can do this YouTube thing too. And they completely and utterly fail at it. These guys are just screwed. There is nothing they can do. They know that their old model is dead, and the new model relies on either being super fucking entertaining or actually, being passionate about what you're talking about so you can attract an audience. And more importantly, actually treating your fans right. Because right now that advertising revenue is dead, and this applies to YouTube as well, by the way. Yeah, advertising revenue on YouTube is down across the board for everyone just because advertisers are, they don't have the money anymore thanks to Corona-chan. So it's really just things like super chats, like your own community. That's what a lot of creators rely on. And these guys, they've spent the past few years flipping their community the bird. And now they're sitting around wondering, why is our community not here to bail our sorry asses out when we need them? Like, well, maybe because your quote unquote community has been wishing you'd go bankrupt for years. Maybe that's why. But like Neon said at Clownfish, I suggest they maybe pick up another line of work, like maybe learning how to program computers. Yeah, I hear learning how to program computers is a good option. Maybe they should look into that. Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.